Hey guys, it's me here back again with another video on Saturday, February 6, 11:52 a.m. So this is my most anticipated video I want to do. This is supposed to be the Itadori / Sukuna in-depth in-depth video part 2. So I made this into a PowerPoint. Sorry about the words, if you can't see it, and all of that. So last few days we've gotten chapter 136 and 137. So the recap for chapter 136 and 137. So this was before 136 came out. I did this PowerPoint prior, like before and after the leaks came out. And when I saw some of the leaks, I realized that I was correct on some things. So let me start by alright. So this I was kinda correct on the Itadori theory, where it brings ultimate plan. No, sure, I was supposed to do this video way before, but procrastination. So yeah, so I might skip this over or just come back to this, but I want to put this out there and say that because I was correct. Well, I dubbed it the Eye of Transfiguration. I kind of dubbed it as Itadori because I have said on the Discord that Geto is going to use his newfound powers as Transfiguration and meet the Twin Rain. That's initially what I thought it was, but I can see him doing that later on with another technique. I'm not sure, because I thought Geisha would go the road and have half the population transfigured humans, but I don't know. And yeah, his ultimate plan, what I was going to talk about is his ultimate plan was, I didn't know how I would have explained it, but his ultimate plan would have involved something with Sukuna and yuji. So we finally saw what his plan was, but it's not up to debate. It's not up to debate because, okay, we could say that yes, having all golden age curses come up would be the brain's ultimate plan, but what if that's far from it? So I wanna skip this through, and before, yeah, this was in here before I saw the leaks of 136, which I made a terrible mistake of doing. Well, we know who she is in her actual end goal. You kind of see 136 what her actual end goal is. Besides wanting to take on all curses and turn humans into curse users, because let's put it here and say that we all right. Let's just say yes. She has set her end goals from hidden inventory. She has set it, and up till now. So my thing is, and I don't see why she would have needed to do this. Because what she was doing though too, as well, is that this plan itself, which she's doing, is very, very dangerous. What she's doing, because turning people into curse users, what to obscure the balance? Good grief! Like for humans independence. So, you see, this is the reason why certain people should not be given pause, because her end goal, which I find kind of rather, let me say this, sinister, because it's sinister. There is something to it. There's always something to things like this. There, there's always things to anything in life. It doesn't matter what, who, whether it's for good intentions or so. There's always consequences. Apparently, you know, because because Yuki's goal versus Geto's goal do not contrast each other. But looking at like a silver lining, I kind of can see the same ideology, because it technically would still be like genocide. Because let's look at it this way too as well. If her plan was to make random people into curse users, if I'm correct, then it doesn't make sense though to do that, because you'll be putting them in harm's way. And what if one of them goes bad? Then what are you gonna do? And it's like that concept where I forget who had this plan. What was it again? It was from a comic or a show where essentially the villain wanted everyone. No, it's essential. I can compare this to Marvel's Earth X. I can kind of compare it to that in a way, but I don't see how that would be a similar thing. But I forget what it was, a show I watched where this guy kept giving people pause or something like that. Said and you could see it as the same way as, let me put it excuse me. Look, I know this video I don't want to make it longer. Not what it is. But let's just say a certain villain. Something I might as well put it in that sense where I can compare it to like a supervillain wanting to give random people powers and that leading to like a whole lot of consequences. No, the theory. I want to. So I just want to not put that back there. So I haven't thought this one through. So the theory of Yuki being Yuji's mother again. So I don't know what to say of this theory. I do see some things of what some people say in the series that they made, but it's hard to believe that Yuki can be Yuji's mother. It can be hard to believe that. So the reason why I put it in here, I would say it is plausible because the the comparison some people made with Yuki and Yuji is how the way she acts, somewhat in a childish way, and the way how her influence, like with people, the same eyes, the same kind of personality, and I'm like, I could see that, I could see that theory panning out, but it doesn't make any sense if that was the case, then it doesn't make any sense her being his mother because number one, if she was his mother, well, I'm not gonna say there will be any definitive connection and all that. I did see some theories, but I don't see how they will hold up in anything. I have looked at it, so when you're anything, I won't wrong them. So let's go to the next slide. Alright, so let's go to now these things. No, this is just a recap of the in-depth part 1 of Itadori slash Sukuna in-depth. Yuji's last rule, his major ability to bring out emotions and repress memories. I've said this is going to happen to him, and why I want to go with this third point. So his role, alright. So we already established Yuji's role again. Now he might be, he's going to be a centerpiece in this now, because if you read chapter 136 and 137, you can see that his role in all of this is just sad. But I have mentioned this before about the ability, the so called memory manipulation everybody's been saying, because I've said in the video that I don't think it's memory manipulation, because I've said it before in that one that it could be an ability where you can actually go into people's mind, find out draw out their emotion and all that. The ability to bring out emotions and repressed memories, or good times, or desires. And you're gonna see this somewhere later on, and you will see as to why this background of the slide. which is by my design. It's beautiful. So what is going to happen to it? So when we got the chapter for 137, we found out some, well, what's gonna happen to him? I kind of suspected like before, like way before when I knew this PowerPoint, that the elders were going to revoke, suspend the execution and carry it on, because why not? Because seeing that Gojo was sealed, why wouldn't they? But boy, that plot twist when we saw Yuta appeared and talking with the elders, and bruh, I feel as though that riled everybody up. Because, and I've said this before, that yeah, Yuki is gonna get executed. Likely, again, was gonna be unsuccessful. Pretty much he's gonna be unsuccessful. His addition, alright, so in addition to bringing out repressed memories back to certain people as a feel safe due to being on. So, because I was under the impression that Yuji was put on heavily restriction, and somebody on Discord said that no, he was like born with it. The reason why I said he was like given the heavily restriction was probably because, or it's probably because, number one, he had immense strength, speed, stamina, and a good amount of agility to fight. Even in the first chapter when he took down that big curse on the roof, I'm like, you can't tell me Yuji what is not he what. And I'm saying that to everybody else, I'm saying again in this part 2 that it's not memory manipulation. It simply cannot be memory manipulation. Because, alright, so I brought up this type of theory that to whatever what was going on back then, I want to see that maybe, like, and I've said this in the video before, the part 1 video, that it has to be a certain action, like, it has to be a certain action and certain words to trigger back those memories of the brain, because like I'm saying, it's like a fail-safe system. Like if something happen, you always need a fail-safe for any contingency plan for anything that goes wrong. That's what I think. That's what happened. Like his bringing out of repressed memory, and again, and I even said it in the video, it will go to the rule of 3, because I've said that necessarily doesn't have to go with 3 people, just that, but 3 and 3 and 3, just to specific person. Because remember, and everybody's been saying this note on the Discord or videos and Reddit saying that Yuji's memory manipulation is going to be used on yuta, and I'm saying that will be unlikely because I've said this before. You realize how specific it was. This was very specific. I mean, memory manipulation does not do that. It's very specific on what it is. And I was saying on the Discord as well that who knows, maybe you might be much older than we think. We don't know. Although he is 15, 16, but I would say to as well that he could be much older than it's being said, because number one, we've never seen, I've said this before, we've never seen any flashbacks to Yuji being younger. We've never seen anything regarding that. Nothing. Everybody else who we've gotten for at least got a flashback to when they were younger. No one else. Not everyone else except Itadori. So I want to go through this. Alright, so Geto slash Brain. So Brain's ultimate plan, I want to detail, so I went through that. So he went through, originally I thought his original plan were to use Agile transfiguration and let it rain to turn people into transfigured humans. But what we saw in 136 really says a lot. Alright, he's dealing hand into plan everything about Yuji, planning Sukuna's finger. I couldn't believe that he himself put it there. Maybe, maybe not. I assume it was one of Sukuna's followers that actually placed the finger there at the school. Before the school was established. But I was correct on one thing though, because Brain had said it. No, not Brain. Yeah, Brain slash Geto had said it. This was prior, before. Like he had a deal with Yuji. Because he even said it in the chapter that he had something to do with Yuji. I didn't know it would come up to that expense. The original theory about Yuji being Brain's follow Geto. No, I can't argue. I can, regardless, just throw this point out. Oh, no, no. I want to throw this point out. But again, though, too, Yuki herself in hidden inventory looked very sinister. Like, and again, I could say though, too, she was the one that kind of gaslight Geto a bit. Let's be real. She kind of fueled the flames for Geto's indefinite action. So I might just throw out this third point and just leaving it here. Allied to Sukuna, now that is a question mark itself. Because he had said, alright, so in 136, when Brain slash Geto pulled the ribbon and all these curses came out, the ones we saw so far, and he specifically said You hear this, Sukuna? The golden age period is coming. The Heian period is about to come back again. And I've seen people being saying there might be an ally, might have been an ally, might have been a subordinate, right hand man, somebody. And I'm not sure what to say about it, but he does seem to want Sukuna to come back, come back up. So the brain's initial plan is that he started on Sukuna's side, but the brain has other agendas he wants to go through. So yeah, his other agendas. So we don't know what he's playing at. And the fourth point is saying who's Boone's next victim, and the reason why I asked this question is saying why I thought it would have been Yuji, but I would throw this Yuji being his next victim, and that's why I put someone else. Because let's be real, he said that he goes by Brain says that he goes by many names. Now Kawana Shito was one of them, and now he's Sugar Geto. Now what's interesting about this though is that he would choose another victim if he can't control the body anymore. Let's be real. He's gonna find another victim, and we won't know until Genji gets better. Now, hopefully, he gets better. We don't know who will be Brain's next victim, but we sure do know that his next victim might be someone much worse. Alright, so the last point, the Brain had a hand with the star plasma vessel. Sukuna start. Now, the reason why I would ask this is because some people may try to make some connection that Master Tegan might have been Sukuna, but this is regarding to hidden inventory before the Shibuya incident started. I don't see that as anything likely, but I have said on the Discord that the brain must have been in that area. He must have been somewhere and saw both Gojo and Geto fighting Toji. And when Rico got killed, he saw that, oh, this will get interesting now. Because and it's not my theory, but I saw that Reddit where the Reddit user said that the whole entire mission with Geto and Gojo was all set up for them to fail. Like initially Gojo to die. They were basically there to fail the mission. The mission wasn't supposed to be successful, and it wasn't because Rico died. And that's what gaslighted Geto, because he saw that, wait, why are they applauding of this young teenager, of this teenager who died, and they said they had another vessel. If I was in both Gojo and Geto's shoes, I would have been that angry as well. So I was saying that Brain might have saw all of this fight and was interested in Geto. And it goes back to this point up here. Because I was saying, but could you be Brain's follower? Like going with his ideology? Like a follower? Because initially I thought that she was Brain. That was my original theory. I thought that she was the Brain. And that we wouldn't see her again, but I was wrong, apparently. Yeah, and Tegan was also mentioned back again in 137, being like the barrier around Japan. Like, no, around Tokyo, I think. Yeah. So let's get to the next point. This is all through Shibuya to the current arc, because Shibuya ended already in 137. So Chozo and his major role. Chozo does have a major role, yes. He's gonna play a big role later on. First roll again. Yes. They'll be playing another aspect in the story, the cursed wounds, because we saw it in 136. No, 135, 136. And I am gonna say this, that Chozo himself, he and Yuji are gonna go back to the school and retrieve their brothers. I know for a fact they're gonna do that. I knew the truth about him and Yuji being brothers. No, whether or not it's true or not that they're actual brothers, but Chozo seem to be convinced, and I would say yes, they are related. By sheer coincidence, sheer luck, and sheer fate. Also helping you to find out about his curse technique, that can be well up to debate, and I'm not sure. But we might see Yuji get his own curse technique one in the next few arcs, one day. Because I have been theorizing that Yuji's technique, I could say to as well, that his technique could be like perpetual light or something purgatory based, and so something death based. And the last point, Kama Jr. will want Chozo to teach him something. No, if you saw the chapter where Kama Jr. saw Chozo fight against him, wait, that's Kama's technique. That's the Kama's clan blood manipulation technique. And he saw Chozo with his arrow clap nearly, and he was saying that is powerful. And that led me to say that, yeah, Campbell Jr. himself will want to ask Chozo everything, because here's the deal. I've said this in the other video, the last video, part 1, that the Kamo clan themselves are going to have other roles in this. I've said it before, like earlier on, and I'm saying it again. because the reason why I said this before was when like post Goodwill, when everybody was doing baseball and Kama was asking him like what was his goal, saying and then immediately it cuts to Kama, his mother, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna see more of this, Kama Jr. And I'm like, and I'm saying this thing to her well, like, Kama Jr. will ask Chozo for her, how to be stronger, so he can get back his mother. Feels as though Chozo might hesitate and not wanting to teach him, because he won't care. But I think usually would say, teach him, teach him, or something like that. I'm not sure because I know for a fact that they're going. Death paintings are the curse ones. Death paintings are going to have a role in this, so another big role. And I was saying something might happen where somebody might even buy them out, much less. So that's why when we go back to Megumi's problems or having to deal with people dying around him. That's true. He has people just dying around him, and he's not being told of certain things about Toshi being his father, which I hope that would be a big revelation for him. Like his initial hospitalization. I feel as though he might be sad of Maki getting hurt, and Nora too. Oh, she might even be dead at this point. I don't know. Honestly. His sister major possible vessel role. No, I was kinda correct. I think some of us were correct on Megumi's sister being like a possible vessel. And she kinda is in a way, but she was just given this power to take down yuji. And I have said that she's gonna end up dying. Like, there's no way around this. Megumi's sister is going to end up dying the next few arcs. And some people were saying about Megumi is going to be the one to kill his sister, but what I keep saying that it's going to be Yuji that's going to be the one to kill her. Yuji or Sukuna. Because all these people who were cursed, who brain Sashiketo cursed, they have no way of being saved. There's no way around it. You're good as dead. Anyways. The next one, Mr. Sukuna and his technique. Vision, yeah. So his sister ends up dying. Yes, that's gonna be one of his major character developments again. Wait, hold on. One. Alright. So I'm gonna talk about this Sukuna related. So we know for a fact that that's what Sukuna is interested in Megumi for. His life and death shadows technique, which is Buddhist, I think, or Shintoism, but it has shown that yes, Megumi's abilities, can use to revive life and death resurrection. Alright, so Shibuya Aftermath. Yuji's on the earth, so some of these are these are just compact So Yuji's on the run, I know for a fact. I'm not going to say there's been a leak, but from someone I've been following who's on the Jujutsu Kaisen Discord. I posted something I'm not going to say just yet because it counts as leaks. It's something you can run, but it's on Twitter, so it's kind of like that. Yurame's preparation. I don't know what else Yurame is preparing for, but I assume there's much more preparational stuff he or she needs to finish before anything else. Because Sukuna has told Yurame to finish up their preparations for when the time comes. But Yurame got poisoned by Chozo, so I don't know how he or she are gonna they will recover. They will recover from it, but some way, shape, or form. Because we know you're ever gonna have a role, so you ever can't just die yet. So, right. So next point, major plot point of Yuki's execution by the elders of the school. So now this point I want to say thus comes into fruition because Yuji himself, when chapter 37 came out, and when the leaks came out and everybody was looking at the leaks and was like, wait, what? And then when the chapter came out, that's when we find out that Yuta is going to be his executioner. So you know he's gonna get wild. Yuta's gonna get clapped. Alright, Yuta, there it is. This next point, Yuta's grand return. And boy, Yuta's grand return has hyped everyone up. It hyped everyone up to the point where some people say, nah, Yuta is cursed. Yuta is cursed. And all of that. So, we got his grand return in chapter 137. And I will say that is a mighty grand return. And boy, he does look like a bug-eyed freak. And look like he has a suckling face. And the last point, going outside Japan, sorcery school. I like we're gonna get any of that, so I'm not too sure on that part. Now this is the cream of the crop. Like usually being pregnant theory. Now guys, please, this is not a joke. This is not a meme. It's an actual theory, and it does seem to hold up. And I'm going to link this PowerPoint, but yeah, Yuji's gonna give birth theory. So in this, I'm gonna go on this soon. So Yuji giving birth, what Geji has planned for us in the next arc timeline. So basically, the theory is that from the time Itadori ate the finger of Sukuna at the time, that was when it started with the cycle of being pregnant. So let's go to this link right here and let me show you, because I am going to link this theory. There's purple. Let me come out of this. I alright. Alright. Here is it. I'll be linking this. So do check out this person's Tumblr. And they have made some good stuff on it. Like timeline of his pregnancy and when he's gonna give birth. So alright, so around June 14th, when it swallowed the finger as the menstruation ends. Then July 4th, when Itadori and Sukuna established the sharper the binding well implantation. July 11th is the training with Gojo planting the basic as sorcerer. Internal organ formation is complete. September 5th is Junpei's arc, with Itadori was fine and not just proper sorcerer, a center form. So you see, this is the cycle of when someone's being pregnant. So what was learned in human and social biology, you know for a fact that it takes weeks for the development stage of a baby. So it's the 9 month cycle. It shows that it is that the 9 month cycle of it, of a pregnancy. And you see October 31st, this is the Shibuya incident. Then following this date, in a human pregnancy, the expected date of delivery is on his birthday, March 20th, 2019. Now, and March 20th is the spring equinox, which is said to be the day when the gate to the other world is opened. The implication of this is something will happen to Itadori on his next birthday, birth of a new Itadori, while the birth of Roman Sukuna. Now, what's interesting that this thing seems to hold up, and it kind of aligns back to chapter 130, 135, 36, chapter, yeah, 135 and 136, is that that's what's basically what's going on. That's basically what is going on. Because Sukuna has stated that once Itadori has all the fingers, that's when the binding bond will take effect. Meaning he will have full control of his body. It's something to that extent. Oh, and this, what is going to happen on Itadori's birthday? What has happened when Itadori was born? So yeah, So you can check this out. I will link it. I'm glad to link it. So that's the thing about it, is that, and I don't see any other YouTuber go with this theory. Like I some don't know about this theory, but it's a very popular theory, and it does seem to hold out. It does seem to be the case to everything that we've been seeing so far. And Sukuna has said that once he gains control of his body, which will lead to this point where it connects to that one. Even Sukuna are related to the Camel Clan. I've said this in the other video. Please go check it out. Check out the link of the Tumblr post. Exploring the Camel Clan again. I might have to go back through this. I'm not sure. My new theory. And I came up with this. Someone kind of sparked it when I was on Pinterest. Like both Sukuna and Itadori's bodies were not mistakenly, will horribly merge together. So Let me explain this point. So, if when a woman finds out that the girl kills his sister, and then the arcs just going through the cycle, then Sukuna gets him away, and they put to a place where his body is held, and it's in a ceremonial thing, and we want him to revive his body. So that's the other point I was saying, to revive back his body. But I was seeing this through that McGowan will either botch up the ritual, or or he will purposely mess up he will purposely mess up the ritual, causing both Itadori and Sukuna's body to merge horribly. Like literally like merge together into one. Which that will put Itadori in a very rather bad mood, and even more psychotic than anything else. Because I do see that happening though. I can't, I do see that happening. No doubt. Their bodies are going to merge. And also the reason why I want to say why usually, because alright, the first point, and I know people are gonna ask is say how is Sukuna related back to the Kamoka. So I want to see this go to a world. Some of the theories that I've seen kind of are solid, some that are not. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because you might have some blood connection to the Kamo clan. Because remember, they're always being brought up again and again and again. And that so and so for memory manipulation seen above was rather specific in that picnic. Keizo, Ezo, Kyoto, and Yuji, and the other siblings in the Wells were having it. And I'm saying this cannot be memory manipulation. I don't know what people are saying. Yeah, so this, I like this theory that I came up with. Well, another thing is a spark. I may not be the first one to thought of it. I don't know, somebody else might have thought of it. And this I've been seeing, which is true. Itadori is becoming more and more like Sukuna, which is very evident because his hair, if you look through the art, you realize how his hair was always in like straight and all of that. But as it goes down the line, his hair is going back and he's looking way more like Sukuna, and he is behaving more like Sukuna. So, something to that line. And also, I want to see something about Yuji's mental breakdown. That he's going to have an episode, like a mental episode, and he's just going to lose it badly. Because Yuji himself is already crazy, and it's not gonna surprise me at all. Because I'm saying, Gage is gonna probably do something to the point where he's gonna let Yuji do a lot of questionable things to let to make us hate him more and more and more. could see Keshi doing that. So we don't root for Yuji, but we root for the others. I know some people still gonna support Yuji, so I'll just leave that there. I'll be back then. Sukuna related now, where the other fingers are, or if we move past the rest. No, it's kind of debatable if some of the persons who were cursed do have the fingers, but the other fingers could be anywhere else. It could be anywhere else. Could be still in Kyoto. Yuma could have them, or some of them were implanted in the persons who were cursed. Alright, so the possible location of Sukuna's body may at the Kyoto school or somewhere else. The reason why I'm gonna say this, that his body may be at the Kyoto school, is because it could likely be there. Because it was said in Sukuna's IRL story that that was actually the Hira province before, and it was said that he resided in the mountains. The mountain was his abode. That was where he was lived, and people couldn't pass through there because that was his domain. No, this approach of his body being at school wouldn't be so far-fetched, because the school itself was a temple, was a Buddhist temple, and was a Buddhist temple before, and then it became a school. Former Hira province, I think it was Kyoto, yeah. Now, at this point, I want to say though to all the Kyoto students and teachers learning the truth of their school and realizing why stuff is happening. Why I'm empathizing with this fourth point is because what's going to happen is that the Kyoto students and teachers, and some Kyoto students, are going to find out the actual truth of their school and their actual history. Because one of the things could be there somewhere down in the school, well hidden. But they're going to come to be a shocker to them. And when I say shocker, it's going to be something like something of a revelation, or can't trust, because when they find out that the school was established by Sukuna's followers, because Sukuna himself was the one that established Buddhism in the 3 provinces. I forgot the other provinces, but that's where he resided. That was where his shrine was. And another thing too as well is that this will leave them speechless. And say, that, that's the thing that's gonna happen. I don't get you will do that, but I feel that's going to be a plot point later down the line. Who knows? Could be. Alright, I was saying this was defeated by a god killer weapon. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because in the IRL legend, or no, story, that he was defeated by the hero of the emperor because he was too much. I should have had the Japanese chorus thing. I'll put this in the description. if possible. Sorry. And the reason because a lot of people have always been saying, and they're still saying no, saying they wonder how Sukuna got defeated, or how was he defeated? And I would say, like, simple by something like a god killer weapon, something that was made for the hero to defeat him specifically. And the reason why I'm saying this though as well is because if we do later on get a spin about story of the hero, which I presumably it would be so called Yuta, would be that said modern day hero to defeat Itadori the Sukuna, but I doubt it. Now everybody's seeing this here Sukuna and cooking related theory. So no, Sukuna being a chef theory, oh boy, I wish I could have linked that to chef. Someone from the Discord. No, I presume everybody has seen this theory about Sukuna being a chef and all of that. It's on Reddit, it's on other forums, YouTube comment sections, research videos of it. Well, basically, all the references are leading to like Sukuna being a chef, like something like that. Something that has to do with cooking related. Like how Todo mentioned in the Google arc, like Yuji's body is like when in the kitchen when certain temperature or stuff is simmering or boiling up, like heat. His cleave on this mantle that looks oddly like a knife, like a kitchen knife. Gosh, I should put that in here. His bow and arrow, his fire bow and arrow, that everybody's saying yes. And I think also his malevolent shrine as well, translated to, it's somewhere in a Reddit post as well, translated to something of like, what was it? Of the divine kitchen. Because I have read somewhere about theory that of like the kitchen for the gods, the emperor's kitchen, and all that. Yeah, so like being a chef references to kitchens, and they're always referring to kitchens, or even the fact that when Yurme, when revealed, when Yurme's powers came out, ice, an ice curse technique, it went everybody went wild because they said this particular Sukuna is a chef. Yurme is the fridge. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, god damn it, please don't do this to me. So 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 the purpose of this video is to recap and talk about the updates. What I find will be unnecessary, what I find that won't be necessary. So all of these are just compressed from the last video, like you already seen. I'm just doing them in PowerPoint to be much more easier. Now one of the front can see the idol girl, idol Takada-chan. You know, that same girl photo was always popping up, sharing a memory, the repressed memory thing, between confessing his love to her. And I have said, and I'm saying it now, that she's going to have a big role in the next few chapters. No doubt in my mind. It just could be me, or we might see a role. She might play a role. Look, she could even have a curse technique. We don't even know. Because something that's weird, like after that total remembering thing, we literally saw all three of them on a color page together, separately. And what's weird is that there was another color page of both Toru and Yuji, and in the background Toru getting shot in the face. And I'm like, that's Takata-chan, or Itadori. And I'm like, does she have an ability or something for this matter? What is she? I don't know, really. Because like I'm saying in the second point, her relationship with Toru and Yuji. And I've said this before, and it might be obvious, but when Toru said he went to confess to her, and she ripped his letter saying, sorry, I'm in love with someone else. And I'm like, wait, she's in love with someone else? I'm like, is she in love with Yuji? Because remember, we didn't get to hear any other thing about who else she's in love with. And the reason why I say Yuji is because usually that's the type of thing that would happen at times. It's not uncommon that it usually happens. I've seen it happen. Alright. Possibly has a cursed technique or power. Could be as how a theory that Brain might have put a curse on her. Could be like her. But I don't know. Could likely be. Could likely be. So I would have to update this again and again, but I'm just doing this as a part 2 because I should have done this months ago. Alright. This is the cream of the crop. Joe and his friend's boss. Who is Joe, Hanami, and Dama's boss? The reason why I brought this up is because from like the beginning through early chapters, they talked about wanting to work with Geto because it was said that their boss told them to go to him for help because they had a plan. Now the reason why I'm saying about all three of their boss is because it was obvious from the start. And people in the Discord, like some persons in the Discord are telling me saying, no, it's not that, there's no one above them. Maito was the one they were talking about. And I'm like, that can't be the case. Because it kind of looks contradictory because all three of them went to Ghetto. All three of them went to him for the plan because their boss had sent them to him to deal with this, to make a deal. And the reason why I'm saying this though too as well, why there's so much higher and why Maito is not the boss that keep claiming that. Because we saw Maito after, and Nanami even said that looks like Maito was just born not so few days ago. And Joe even said that they propped him up as leader of their little group. And that's why I'm saying It means that Jogo, Hanami, and Dagon all three had a boss, and Maito had a boss. And I'm saying maybe not Jogo. Geto was so impressed. He convinced the boss to say, prop Maito up as the leader, which the boss did. Propped him up as leader. And that's what I believe. How many factions there are? There could be many factions of other curses, intelligent curses, just like the ones we've seen with Yoga, Hanami, and Maito. Could be many more factions. The possibility of Jogo's boss appearing, or who knows? Maybe when Brain / Geto made a deal with their boss, maybe he did something to the boss where it kind of led to the point of making a binding blow to him and trapping their boss. Maybe they didn't know. Something like that. Geto says Brain's next move. He would like to be stalling for now because the last panel of 136, he was looking like he was taunting Yuji with the prison key, like he wants him to come after him. Because clearly Brain Sasuke was not done talking to Yuji about what he was saying about the new world. Clearly he wasn't finished. It just really interrupted. So his next move could be, releasing more curses, or just waiting to see. Because Brain is smart. He might have a contingency plan. And new Heian period, it is, but he could have more plans as well. I think he wants Yuji to break. That's my opinion. What do you get to meet the boss as well as me? As well, we don't know. We don't know what kind of deal with Jogo's boss. Maybe just some agreement to have them work together. Like this one common goal to trap Gojo and to have Sukuna on their side. That was their interest. That's what they wanted to do. So probably that's why the boss came to an agreement to work with Geto. Maybe because of his reputation, something must have happened to their boss. Alright, next one. Yuji's influence 2. Yuji's connection to death. Alright, so this is where I want to get to. This is the heart of the crop. So I came up with this. So there was like some, what was it? Page covers of Yuji going through the doors. Volumes 4 to 18, where and it was theorized that each door Yuji is going into will be next arc after that arc. And I came to the revelation that, oh my god, I'm like, what Yuji look like? He's death. Like, see, yeah, major arc coming up, like each door will lead to a major arc. Like, saying Yuji like her reborn, that this is why I drew this in the background, kind of contrast what I'm saying. Because even if you look at the image back, if you look at those covers back of him going through, coming up through those doors, blood on the floor, like from him, what does that tell you? It reminds me of the thing you will always hear knocking on death's door. Like you always hear these things saying, one foot in the grave, death's death's door, or death coming to your house, or death coming knocking on your door. It's just like that death meme. No, that Grim Reaper meme where we see him knocks on every door, killing every single meme at that point. And that's what the symbolism kind of portrays. Yuji is death. Because I said I was seeing it in the Discord and I wanted to do the video like way before up to this point in time. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because Yuji's name on an official Japanese translation site, this person who does translate, this Japanese native who does the breaking down of the names of the characters and what they mean, and I will link that as well, where Yuji's name literally is like let me put this in that way. His name is literally like it's like ease the pain. So Yuji's name is like to ease pain, to ease the like pain relief. Yes, pain relief. That's what I should say. And I was like looking back at it, and I'm like, that's true. Because if you look back at some of the chapters, when people die in front of him, they would say, "Don't worry," and just dies. Like Yuri is like death himself. And here's the thing, and that's something I want to put in, that that's the thing about it. That's what death does. That's why I have to say Yuji is a Grim Reaper. Like, it's just what I'm saying. But Yuji is a Grim Reaper because what does a Grim Reaper do? A Grim Reaper takes souls, but the main attribute for the Grim Reaper is to take away pain. Meaning, to ease the pain, ease the suffering, I should say. Pain relief. That's what the Grim Reaper would be about. An entity to take souls, to rid them of the pain and suffering, to relieve them of their physical body, and send them to the other world. Other world being purgatory, somewhere else, another dimension, anywhere. And that's what he is. That's what Yuji is. He is like a Grim Reaper. His name is literally, I will link that in the description. And his name literally does translates to pain relief. So I just wanna put this out there. Alright, let me see, and that's the end of it. Alright, so like I said, all of these are just go throughs and go through you check like part 1 of the video, the in depth. I might do another one because Sukuna related again. I might make an in depth part 3. With Takada-chan, I'm not sure why I would waste energy doing that. So, where is this? So, usually being pregnant, I will do the second. So, I will go back through this again. Yeah, the preparation video, I kind of, since in the last video that I said before, usually giving birth, I'm gonna have to make an in-depth 3 video for this one. What else? The Gumi's other role again. So I'll be doing intros again. So it depends. No, it doesn't depend. It depends because alright, let me say this though too. Where is it? Let me say this though too. I have said that his sister is going to die. Let's put this out there that she is going to die because there's no way around that what's happening to her. And I'm saying, in my opinion, that that's going to put a strain on Megumi and Yuji's friendship, I should say. Because, and I'm not sure why I didn't update this. So I'll be doing part 3. So this is just the compressed version for Shibuya and what's going to come like through the next arc. So I'll be doing that soon enough. And that's the end of it. That's part 2 for now, because I clearly have more to say. I'm just saying this and that, this and that. So I'm gonna link this in the description. I'm gonna link the other thing in the description as well. So I'm gonna end it here right now.